Have you heard much about the man that the president has nominated to be the Surgeon General of the United States? Well, you may not have heard of Dr. Vivek Murthy, but our next guest, John Lott, certainly has. And John Lott, former chief economist at the U.S. Sentencing Commission, Fox News columnist, author of such great books as More Guns, Less Crime, but his latest, Dumbing Down the Courts, How Politics Keeps the Smartest Judges Off the Bench. And we welcome in the same John Lott. Hey, John.
Great to talk to you, Steve.
Always good to talk to you. Great to see you. All right, so tell us, first of all, about the nominee to be Surgeon General, why the NRA, among others, keeping a close watch.
Well, he's NRA in particular. It's understandable. Dr. Murthy has almost had an obsession with guns. He's constantly been advising physicians to go and ask parents whether they have guns in the home, saying that doctors should advise those parents to remove the guns or best to lock them up. He thinks it's important to go and, I think, exaggerate tremendously the relative risks of guns in the home, and he ignores the benefits. He never talks about the ability to go and use guns for self-defense. A lot of the numbers that he uses in terms of cross-country comparisons that his groups, he's been president of two groups, Doctors for Obama, and they later morphed into Doctors for America. He's only been a doctor a relatively short period of time. He didn't finish his residency till 2006. Right now, he's 36 years old. He'd be by far the youngest Surgeon General in U.S. history. And his main claim to fame isn't his medical expertise or history. It's that he's essentially been president of this group that helped get Obama elected, which, I suppose is fine. It's different than a lot of the scandals that have been engaged in with regard to ambassadorial nominations. But to me, at least with regard to the gun issue, has been his willingness to play fast and loose with facts and exaggerate the risks of guns in the home.
Well, of course, a big fear of having doctors not only urge parents not to have guns and urge parents to lock up guns and keep them under lock and key, but also asking, parents at all whether or not they have guns. And then with this new medical record system, through the computer, it becomes basically a different way to register gun owners and keep a massive list for the federal government.
That's right. I mean, the whole point of these electronic medical records is that they would be shared with the federal government. And once you have that type of information there, then the federal government could just go and do a search key terms, such as guns, and it would come up whether or not they told their doctor that they own guns or not. But, my concern is that if you make it so that people don't have guns or that they're not readily accessible, that, to me, is a real safety risk, because people aren't going to be able to go and defend themselves. And what you find is that when states, for example, have mandated that people have to lock up their guns, you see criminals become emboldened to attack people in their homes, and they're more successful in the attacks. And you see a net increase in murders and other types of violent crimes as a result of those types of changes.
No, absolutely, and keeping it in a lockbox and keeping it on without the ammunition, the chamber's empty, all these cockamamie things. Now they're talking about this smart gun again, which of course is insane, because if you're disabled and you got a family member who knows how to use a gun, they wouldn't be able to use it. And plus, smart guns fail. But I want to ask you about some things you've written about in this piece, which I think are very very important to bring up. First of all, talk about the political shenanigans that the Democrats in the Senate are pulling, because they know right now, as we lead up to the midterm elections in November, they have a lot of Democratic senators who are up for re-election and are in trouble and can't afford to vote for this guy. So what are they doing? They think they could postpone this election until after the November elections?
That's right. I mean, they know they don't have the votes right now. News reports indicate that maybe 10 Democrats are refusing to go and vote for him for his confirmation, because they're concerned about the political backlash. backlash that's there. And so the new reports have also indicated that Democrats are now planning to bring it up again after the November election, when they will no longer have to worry about the backlash from the voters. I just mentioned one thing. If people want to go and get the kind of number exaggerations that he's done and misstatements about numbers, they can go to crimepreventionresearchcenter.org to go and get that information. But yeah, I mean, it's just this type of delay until after elections just indicates that they are trying to pull a fast one on the voters there.
Gee, I'm shocked. Now, of course, you point out also that this is not the first time this has happened. Certainly it's not. And you talk about a specific incident involving Senator Pryor and Chuck Schumer.
Right. Well, 2009, for example, Pryor, who's in a tough race this year, there was a vote on allowing people, if they had a concealed carry permit in one state, to be able to go and carry when they visited other states, essentially making concealed carry permits similar to your driver's license. And it looked like they had the votes for it. But Pryor initially voted against it. And when he saw that enough Democrats were, in fact, voting against it, he went to Chuck Schumer on the floor. This is as reported in the Washington Post. And given that they were definitely going to defeat it, asked for permission from Schumer to be able to switch his vote. And then at the last moment, he switched it back to make it look as if he had voted for the vote for the bill.
Yeah, just insane. Now, you also point out in your piece, and this is so very important, this fallacy that so many more kids die from guns in the home. You point out over a 5-year period. I think on the average, you say there were 33 accidental gun deaths per year for children under 10, including children under 15, raises the number to 58. Okay, so we're talking about 33 on average, and if you're on children under 10, if you raise it to 15 years old, it goes to 58. But on the same 5 years for children under 15, where the number for guns is 58, accidental suffocations averaged 1,162 deaths per year. Drowning, 736,376 children died from fires. 106 died from poisonings. 84 died from accidents while riding bicycles. For children under age 5, 70 a year drown in bathtubs. All these numbers dwarf the gun issue, yet the left is just fixated on the gun issue.
Right. Unfortunately, the same is true for this nominee. He doesn't have the doctors, doesn't request that the doctors go and ask their patients or talk to their patients about any of those other types of items that are in the home that have much greater risks associated with them. It makes one wonder, exactly what the motivation is for him, but it's not good science.
Yeah.
And he ignores, as I said, the benefits that people have in terms of saving lives with guns also.
No, absolutely. Hey, it's always great to talk to you, John. John, thank you for your time, sir. Keep it up.
Great talking to you. Thanks.
Take care. John Lott, ladies and gentlemen. Read him at foxnews.com on this piece. Surgeon General nomination forces Senate Democrats to hide gun views. And these are real statistics. Just like it's real statistics, just like John Lott put Pierce Morgan to shame when Morgan let John Lott talk in the aftermath of the shooting at the school in Connecticut, when John correctly stated the statistics here and abroad and why and put everything in perspective. The media likes to run with these numbers, but give us other numbers. If you're telling us on average there were 33 accidental gun deaths per year for children under 10, and in the same period, you had 1,062 people suffocating a year, kids, same age, drownings, fires, poisonings, accidental deaths while riding a bicycle, drowning in a bathtub, and all those numbers are higher than for gun deaths, accidental gun deaths. Then where's the perspective on the gun deaths if you leave those other things out? All right, folks, when we come back, you're not going to want to miss this. We're going to, next segment, stay here, promise you.